Yo, what's good? This is Stu for Stu TV, and welcome to another episode of Beast TV, where I interview just different people within the Kid Called Beast community, the project for different Beast hoods, and just give just an alignment of what's going on in this top NFT project, this across Indie Chain. But anyway, I have a special guest with me today. I'm gonna allow him to introduce himself to the audience. What's good, man?
What's good, bro? My name is Mechsicko. I'm 30 years old. Initially producer, but once I got into the Web3 community, branched out. Songwriter, messed with the AI art a little bit. So kind of a little bit everywhere, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, definitely, man. That kind of goes along the lines of like just one of my more first questions for you as far as yeah, as far as your music background doing it with AI. I know you've produced for like notable artists and everything. What's your experience been like in the Kid Called Beast? Like just in the project so far, or just the duration that you've been in?
Yeah, I mean, the project, as far as like my exposure to I just remember I've been in the Web3 scene maybe a little over a year now, and I just remember back when the Mint, I was like, dang, man, I can't get in there. But I remember seeing all the engagement and everything on Twitter going crazy, and I was like, as soon as I get this money right, I'm gonna try to get in. So I haven't been in the community for too long, maybe 2, 3 weeks now. But it's just crazy. Anytime anything about I post anything about the Kid Called Beast community or anything about my beast, just all kinds of engagement. So I definitely feel the love. I've reached out a few times just about a few things that I may need as far as like, help with Blender. Everybody's always willing to help. So it's just, amazing. It's things that I guess like money can't buy, you know what I'm saying? Like before I got into the Web3 community, I didn't have nobody I could reach out to be honest, with anything as far as like if I need maybe help with some beat or if I'm like, yo, anybody got some mixing tips or anything. So the community just been wild. My experience has been through the roof, you know what I mean? It's probably like top community in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely. I would, kind of also just jump in with that in terms of just just the help and just people that you could reach out to in the community in terms of and everybody joins different projects for different reasons, but I think just the way the project was laid out, it was like a very, I could tell it was a thought out process in terms of the hoods, how you got it
Right.
set up, and then you got the whole ecosystem. Then you got all these different resources using the IP. It's a very strategic process in terms of just the whole foundation of the project, and then just the people that you get to connect with. That's just a reflection of like our founder in terms of
Right,
just how
right.
people move and scheme just within the project. So like for those that's watching, this is like, one of the top projects for me, like personally, no financial advice. But, just coming into this community and just hearing, just even you said you only been in it for 2 weeks, and just how much you've already gained just from a
Yeah.
community aspect. I think people really underestimate, getting to be able to get into your community. That's something that I lacked when I first started. And you just jump in the ground and running, man. But I wanted to get into as far as Pacific hoods. And for those that maybe don't know, Beast Hood just has separate different hoods. They have hoods for fashion, for music, for sports, for
Mhm.
comedy. So it's all different hoods, and it's just that's the beauty just about even having this in terms of a platform, is hearing like your experience in your hood, and specifically I know you're in B Street as a music producer, and like how exactly are you going to incorporate what you do in the music lane to Beat Street and the Kid Called Beast community?
Right, yeah. So I mean that was another one of the main things I noticed, when I was looking to see what beast was right for me. I was like looking in the beast hoods and just like, oh, this is pretty crazy, man. And to be honest, like I am a little into everything. I'm a sneakerhead, so I collect way too many dang shoes. I love trucker hats. I'm into fashion and stuff like that. So I'm like, I could go that way, but again, I always need to be in a producer. And I just remember on that day, I had my eyes on one that wasn't Beat Street, and I was like, my pockets ain't all the way there, so let me get something from the floor. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna sleep on it. Let me see what's available in the morning. Gas a little too high right now,
Mm.
anyways. just woke up, see this guy on the floor, and I was like, hey, it's meant to be, man. It's meant to be. So once
Yeah.
I got in there, I got the access to the chat, and I just see everybody, just producers, and there's a rock band in there, and it's crazy. So I mean, as far as incorporating my beats into it, I did post a video a little bit back. I reached out to one of the community members. He hooked up my boy. He got him going sturdy to the music video. You know what I'm saying? I was dropping a drill single, so I used my beats in the little promotional video. He's dancing for me. To be honest, I kind of want to go that route with it. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of being in front of the camera. So, you know, anytime I don't want to be on the camera, I could definitely just put my boy on there. I can make him do a dance or make him lip sync to the song or something like that. So, I mean, as far as using the beats, definitely gonna want to throw them on there. If I post up any like little tutorial videos, because every once in a while I post, you know, I would post some breakdown videos on TikTok when I was into that a little bit deeper, which I probably need to get back into, but you know, incorporate them into the logo there and just really get them kind of fit into the music to the point where anytime they see my beats, they're like, oh, probably a new song coming out. I see him dancing, so there's got to be something coming. You know, he's posting them again. I'm seeing them more.
Mm. Yeah, man. I could. There's so many ways of how, because I was sort of thinking, just certain thoughts came to my mind as I was hearing you talk. In terms of, there's so many different ways of how you could use like Blender, in terms of just incorporating your beats, and then how you talked about like music videos. I was even thinking to myself, man, just it'd be dope if like a Kid Called Beast music video like went viral, and it was just
Yeah,
like the actual IP that you represent. You might not even have to show your face. It could be a
right.
trend of those type of videos just starting from one community, you know. It's just, you never know. It's so many ways on how you could go about this, man. But it's just always cool to hear everybody's ideas in terms of like how they want to maneuver, how they see them using their beats incorporated with themselves. Just because like there's a market for that. If you don't want to show your face, or if you don't
Mm-hmm.
want to, if that's what you want your, you know, your identity to be or whatever, a representation of you, there's like a full market for that. And I feel like, you know, the door is wide open, man.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah, definitely untapped. I mean, it would be cool. Like even I know like what's their name, M and Snoop. You know, they dropped their little animated video, and I think Snoop had his like his ape performing for him, and M had his. So I mean, even something like that, it could be like a side by side type thing. You know, like a back and forth, like a lot of things, man. You know, I've been cooking in the head, but you touched on something that I need to work on, Blender, because you know I need to be able to do stuff myself.
yeah, don't worry, man. I'm probably the last one in the Beast community when it comes to like Blender, man. Cause like I know I'll be in the VC or whatever, just in the chat, and then one dude he tried to show me Blender, and I was following him. I was like, yeah, but I was like in my head, I was like, I don't get this shit. Like not off jump. Like I don't get it. Like
Yeah,
I hear him, but it's just like if he were to be like, oh yeah, well just okay, well show me on your screen and repeat what I did. I'll be like,
right.
I'll be lost. Like you know. It's that type of thing. I hear you, but I gotta do it over time.
Yeah,
Then I get
yeah.
comfortable. But that's like with anything. So yeah, Blender is kind of like say that a little bit later on the list right now. Yeah, man, but all good. But yeah, man, I also wanted to dive into you produced for like ASAP 12y. Um
Yeah.
I know that's something that you did. I thought that's like, yeah, that's pretty fucking, that's neat, man. Just, you know, some people can't even say that they've ever produced for artists of that caliber, anywhere damn near close. So, can you
Yeah.
talk about your experience with that? What was the story? Like, how did that come about for you?
So I mean, as far as like really working with them, I never really got the chance to be like one on one in the studio with them. What really was is just like anything on Twitter. You know, some artist just posted, "Hey, producers, send your best beats to this website. I mean, to this email, my bad." And so at that time, I was a little bit more active in like producing, sending out packs. So I already had like a folder ready. So I emailed it to him, and I wasn't really thinking too much of it. And maybe like 5, 6 months later, I got an email from his engineer, And he's like, "Hey, bro, I think ASAP Twelvyy wants to record to this. I need you to send me the track outs." At that time, I was like unfamiliar with the lingo, the anything. I was like, "All right, for sure, man." And I had to go and ask my homie, "Hey, like, what are track outs? Like, what does he ask for?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, you just need to individually put every track on every sound on its own track and send it to them so they can mix it." I was like, "All right, cool." So in my mind, I'm like, "Yo, if they're gonna mix it, like it sounded pretty serious." So then, fast forward a few weeks, ASAP 12B asked me for my number on Twitter DM, sent him my number, and I guess it was his manager who reached out to me, asked me if I was free for a call. I was like, yeah. And he just broke it down. Just, hey, ASAP 12, we really like that beat. We probably want to use it on our album. If it makes the album, this is the deal. Like, this is your cut, and so on and so forth. Uh, but again, since I was so new to the whole experience, I wasn't even really hit to the fact. I love the samples, so I wasn't hit to the fact that like I'm not gonna see no money off this. So I guess due to album sample clearances and everything, they don't really. He doesn't really perform that song, and it sucks to me because I was
Mm.
always a big fan of ASAP Yams. I was like my boy, loved ASAP Yams, and when he passed away, of course, the song I produced is called Brothers. It's about ASAP Yams and just how he feels losing his brother, and they can't even perform that song, man. So I've gone to a few ASAP concerts, like hoping they're gonna perform that song, and they just
Yeah.
I guess they can't. From what I've been told, is they need to pay back that sample clearance essentially to the owners of that song, which apparently I ended up sampling a song from a Brazilian movie soundtrack, and I don't know what they asked for, but they still haven't seen the recoup there. So they just don't perform it, no music video for it. There's been a few ASAP Yams like festivals they've done, they just haven't performed it. But the other dumb thing about this is that I ran into ASAP 12 at Long Beach at the Complex Con. I was like,
Wow.
"Oh, what's up?" And I guess just trying to be way too cool, just dapped him up. "What's up, bro? Nice to meet you, man." And just went about my way. Didn't take a picture. Didn't even tell him, I'm the producer of your song. Nothing. I just walked
Wow.
off, thinking I was just so cool. I just dapped him up and walked off. Later on, I tweeted him. I was like, "Hey, bro, I just met you, and I'm dumb. I didn't even tell you I produced Brothers for you." He just kind of said, "Appreciate that, bro. If you can, come back to the booth, and we'll set you up." But I just never
Hmm.
could get back there. So yeah, I mean, it was a cool experience for me, just like you said. Regardless of what happens, whether or not if I ever make another song, I can at least have that in me. I was able to get that song out there and have something up with the real record label and the real I guess established artist. I could say that.
Yeah, yeah, man. I could. Yeah, it's definitely a feat, man. I could say that from personal experience, just because like I was like a producer at one point, and I did make beats or whatever, and I never produced for somebody that caliber. So just speaking for
Mm-hmm.
somebody that done that too or whatever is just like, yeah, man. It's salutes to you, man. Definitely, just because like, how would you say?
I said, "Oh, I appreciate it."
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. It's no small feat and stuff. Like a lot of people can't say that, including myself. And like in terms of just the whole experience that you had with that, that's something that you can hold for a lifetime with that, which will catapult you into other opportunities. So, but yeah, man, that definitely had to definitely just keep sharing your story within the beast community, because I know for me that's something that when I heard that or whatever, just along with just connecting with you in general, I was just like, wow, that needs to be put out there. That needs to be like, people need to hear that story and
Yeah,
different things. So yeah, man, keep sharing your story, man. That's just some encouragement to you. But in regards to even with A Kid Called Beast, what would you say, like in a perfect world, like what is your max potential that you feel like you would reach, like with the beast community, in terms of any beast collaborations, partnerships, like things that you want to do? Can you kind of speak to, if it was like you reached your max potential in A Kid Called Beast, what would that look like?
man. I mean, I guess one of my main like goals in life, I've always wanted to like have my own studio I could open up, just to anybody to come through and either, record some music or get some music mixed or something like that, or just come through and have a place to cook up some beats because maybe they don't have the best sound system back at home. So it's always been one of my main things. And me personally, just like as a person, I was always raised to just help out wherever I can, if I can, to anybody that needs it. So especially on like Twitter, for me, one of my things is like I love to just like cook up little edits, AI, little variants of if anybody's PFP. And honestly, I don't mind the community, but if I see it's a beast, PFP, I'm like, I'm on it. I'll get you right now. Everybody else can kind of wait a little bit. But as far as my max potential, yeah, I kind of want to see that more so on that studio and just, definitely help anybody out. But just like I mentioned, like anybody with that beast PFP or, with that beast in their wallet can like definitely get a major hookup, whether it's like I need some album artwork or I need something mixed or I want some beats or something, just have that, come through. They'll be like, if that perfect world was to be where I was at, where I want to be at, I would definitely want to, like I said, bring everybody up with me. So if I'm up where I'm at, say I'm this big producer, I got money, I'll never forget about anybody. I would just, hey, show me that Beast PFP. Yep, come through, bro. I'll mix that for you. Show me that Beast PFP. I'll send you some beats or I'll send you a folder for a discounted rate. But yeah, man, definitely just to help everybody in the community and make it to a point where perhaps somebody that's not in the community could be like, hey, I could get this mixed for a deal if I own a beast. Let me go get one real quick and explore the rest of my, avenues now that I'm a holder, now that I have this additional perk in being a holder, you know what I mean? Something like that. If I was able to. I mean, I definitely don't have the followers for it or the reach for it now, but if I was able to, I would definitely want to do something like that where it would be like, hey, I want to join this community because it's a dope community, but this dude also is in that community and I'm able to do this with him because I'm a part of this community essentially. So just bring everybody up at the same time, I would say.
Man, yeah, that's definitely dope, man. Just to hear your insights, ideas. I always like to see like what everybody's thinking. Fast forward, you never know what somebody's thinking. I'm always curious what goes through somebody's mind. But there's some great ideas in terms of like even even man, just the kid called B Studio, man. You could have like a legit like complex if it was
Oh
like
yeah.
if it was like some everybody wanted to sow a seed, you could have a legit complex, like a big ass studio that like a kid called Beast holders could get in or something like that, or just some way how it could be monetized. And then if the public wants to come into the studio,
Oh,
then that'd be a fee. But like for kid called beast holders, we'll give you an incentive or just like things like that, man. So it's always
yeah.
cool to like hear everybody just different ideas.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you ever watched Fantasy Factory, that Rob Deerdeck on MTV. He had opened up like a basically like a kind of like a storage, a big old storage facility, like a unit out there in LA, and he just made a skate park, part office. So kind of
Mm.
do something kind of similar like that for creatives, part studio, part digital digital studio where you can just come in and maybe like draw, or maybe you can't afford all these programs or this really good processing computer, so you come through kind of like studio cafe type vibes, borrow the computer for a little bit, and just like you said, if you're a holder, come through, use it for free. If not, then there's some fees you gotta pay.
Man, yeah, it's crazy because you could really build on top of that. Because like I
Oh
know
yeah,
if you had like a podcast recording studio, I'm there because I love to talk.
yeah,
But like, you can have that separated into like a music studio, podcast, like
yeah.
music videos. It could be like an all-in-one studio facility that's like dedicated to a kid called Beast. And like,
Right.
ain't none of this playing because this is all coming off the top of my head. So
Yeah,
it's just crazy, man. You could really take it there or whatever in terms of that,
yeah,
just being in here with all the resources that you have. I think people don't understand like that's what an NFT project is. It's just all these resources of people that you can connect with. It's not just like, oh, I rock the PFP, but like the community, the people behind the PFP is what represents the community.
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, definitely, that'd be crazy because, like you said, you can talk about it all day, and there would always be a new idea. Like we could
yeah,
even just set up like a green screen little set, and people could shoot music videos there with little green screen background. Like,
Man.
just ideas all day.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, you can spit back and forth ideas, man. I did want to ask like a side note though. Just as a side question, like what would you say to like cause I know you've been the beat game. I've personally been to the beat game and I have a lot of old producer friends and things like that. Now I'm fully transitioned to Web3. I don't do music at all. But what would you say to like, the rappers and the producers, just that they maybe want to monetize or they sell beats online? Or I know it's like through BeatStars or I think it's Airbit because I don't know. I haven't really been in that world in forever. But I'm just saying, do you have any advice to those producers or artists that, looking to monetize themselves with their music career or different things? How would you pitch Web3 as an option or a solution for them? Like, how would you, I guess, present that to them as a possible solution?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a great question because I definitely all my friends that I grew up with. I grew up with a lot of other creatives. So I got a homie who paints murals. He teaches kids about like painting within the community. I got a homie who ran up. He's a football coach. So I mean, I definitely grew up around all of these creative homies and before growing up there was no Web3 as far as networking with anybody, so it was really just who you grew up around. And we always just talked about meeting people and moving up. And once I got into the Web3 community, and I realized how many other, like you said, former producers or just artists in general were in the Web3 community. I was like, yo, this is crazy, man. Like, there's all kinds of people in here. So I would always reach out to all my homies. I'd be like, hey, you really need to get in here. It's like my homie that was painting murals. I was like, hey, bro, you really need to get in here. There's people painting murals of NFTs, bro. Like, you could do this too. Like, and then once kind of get your foot in the door, bro, show them everything else. I show them, look at the photography I do. I'm also into doing this. This is my general art, and just branch out from there. So I'm just always telling people it's crazy. A lot of people within, I mean, not to throw any shade, but they always say the last people to support you are the people from your hometown, the people that actually know you. Nobody knows you in Web3, bro, so just get started there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So one of my first things that I did within the Web3 community, as far as like trying to integrate my music, was I used the IP from one of my other PFPs and used it as my album cover and just dropped that essentially. I had a couple people that like reached out within that community that were also producers that I didn't know of, that worked with big name artists and stuff like that too. So once I found that out, I hit up my other homie that was rapping. I was like, bro, you need to get in here, make some connections, talk to these people, see what they're about. It all starts with getting into the community though. So you do need to get this PFP, but it's kind of hard to get over the price sometimes with people that aren't really hit to the game. They're like, I'm not paying $500 for a picture of a bear with a mask on. You know what I mean? To the everyday civilian, it's just a little tough to explain. So I guess that's the main hurdle. But just I would say to any upcoming artists, you definitely need to jump into the Web3 space just to network. Networking in the Web3 community is just different, bro. Everybody wants to see you win. Everybody wants to build with you. Everybody reach out to you and just be like, hey, man, like, you didn't know this, but I'm actually into what you're looking into. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're looking for publishing, bro. I'm an A&R. You know what I mean? Like, it's just the craziest thing. So you definitely need to jump into the Web3 space, despite what anybody is saying about the Web3 space. If you're creative, if you're a rapper, producer, painter, muralist, anything, I definitely think that is the way to go. Get your foot in, get in where you fit in, and then just show everybody what you're about once you're in there.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Because I be trying to explain the world of Web3, not even just to producers, but just to any type of creatives. And it's like, I don't know, I tried like 20 times and I failed all 20. Like, it just, no matter how I come at it, it's just like, I don't know, I'm looking for something. So it's that kind of is. I think it's not necessarily. It's not enough like demonstration over time, or just like a period of time. Like the market is like
Yeah,
relatively. I'm older than the entire crypto market. You know, that's
definitely. Yeah, most
young.
of the people in the space are.
Yeah, so it's very hard to like present something where it's just like, you know, once you get in here, it's like you can see the vision, you can see the end goal, but it's hard until somebody gets in here to actually see it for themselves. Like it's like I can't really give you that until you get in here, and then I can
Yeah,
kind of guide you along and see, tell you what to watch out for, caution signs, but it's just up to you in the process, man. But yeah, man, I definitely enjoy like having you on. I know, just winding down to the final parts. But yeah, I appreciate you having you on and everything. I will definitely drop your links below. Just any links that you want to send. Just make sure you just follow them. Just you can shout out anything that you want to say because I got my last question. I'm gonna let you have the last word. If you want to shout out your Twitter, Instagram, where people can follow you, Spotify songs, just all that. Feel free to do that. But I would just say my last question is like even outside of like crypto, even if you have any ventures or partnerships or things that you want to do just for your own brand, just like as far as people that just want to support you in general, what's the future? What can we expect for you just coming up in the future going forward?
yeah. I mean, like I had said previously, I guess like even if the last thing I did in the music space was just that one song credit I have credit for. I mean, I'm gonna still keep dropping music. I love music regardless whether there's 10 listeners or 1,000 listeners. I'm gonna keep dropping. So definitely, I'm gonna keep dropping my own music. Look out for my beats possibly in the near future and some other projects. Maybe people dropping some videos with some music that might sound familiar in the videos. And just definitely always just sticking around, looking to hook up edits, looking to link and collaborate with any artist that want to verse, want to beat, want some help mixing or anything like that. But yeah, what's next for me is just keep on creating, I guess, and just keep looking for the next opportunity to try to bring everybody up within Beat Street, B Side, Kid Called Beats, and all of that, and just really learn this blender, man. Because once I learn this blender, I'm posting this guy. He's dancing everywhere. The main thing instantly once I was on the Discord and I seen the Wonder Dynamics tutorial, I was like, yo, I can just put my dude on anything and he'll do it. First thing that came to my mind, I was like, yo, I need him doing that DJ Khaled, that crazy little salsa thing DJ Khaled does. So
Yeah.
Friday, I'm dropping a single. It's called We the Best. It's a little freestyle. It's really short, but it's not really about DJ Khaled. But I had that We the Best bar in there, and I was like, what better way to promote that than with my guy dancing and with
Mm-hmm.
my song background. So I'm gonna try to learn see if I can learn how to do that by today, tomorrow, and drop that. But yeah, really just keep creating, keep learning, keep collaborating, networking, linking up with everybody in the community, man, and just trying to shine together.
Yeah, for sure, man. Definitely. Just look forward to all that, man. Everything that you got going on. Like I said, man, I'm gonna let you have the last word. I'm just gonna go ahead and close this out. This is Stu TV. This is another episode of Beast TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you share the video. All the beasts show love. We'll catch you in the next one.
Yeah.